The Cleveland Browns just traded Kenny Pickett, but here's the thing, that's not the story. Because while headlines scramble to cover the move, fans are laser-focused on something way bigger brewing behind the scenes. A quarterback with 0 NFL starts, a third-string rookie who hasn't even taken the field in a regular season game. A name that's somehow becoming the eye of the storm in Cleveland, Shadur Sanders. You've heard it before. He's just a rookie. He's not ready. He's only there as a developmental piece. But if that were really true, why is the entire city talking about him like he's the missing piece to everything the Browns have been chasing for decades? This isn't just fan speculation anymore. It's not fringe YouTube takes or Twitter threads compiled by die-hard Colorado fans. This is now part of the national conversation, a growing swirl of pressure building around a city that's choking on mediocrity and desperate for a spark. But something feels off. Sanders is reportedly dominating in practice, generating buzz, selling more jerseys than any other rookie in the league, and yet, the Browns are keeping him sidelined, buried on the depth chart, ignored by a system that suddenly feels outdated. So what's really going on here? Is this just good old-fashioned quarterback development, or something a lot more intentional? Because the deeper you dig into Shedur's rise, the more it starts to feel like the Browns aren't just sitting on untapped talent. They're sitting on a ticking time bomb. At first glance, the Browns trading Kenny Pickett to the Raiders didn't seem like a huge deal. A standard roster move. 1 quarterback out, 3 still in the room. No major headlines, no blockbuster drama. But if you know Cleveland, and if you've been following what's happening behind the scenes, you know this trade wasn't just a cleanup move. It was a signal. Kenny Pickett was supposed to be in the Browns' long-term quarterback mix. Young, experienced, and considered part of the insurance policy alongside Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel. But with Pickett out, that changes everything. Because now, the number of reps for 2 rookie quarterbacks just went up. And one of them is Shadur Sanders. The moment the Browns shipped Pickett out, it was like the coaching staff gave themselves fewer excuses. With Flacco aging, Gabriel inconsistent, and Pickett gone, they've essentially opened the runway for Sanders to accelerate, whether they admit it publicly or not. What makes this so intriguing is how the front office has tried to play both sides. On the surface, they're sticking to veteran leadership, business as usual. But this trade proves they know what everyone else is starting to see. Shedeur isn't just on the roster, he's in the mix. And they better believe the fans noticed it too. Because when you clear out a younger quarterback with starting experience just to keep the third-string rookie around, that's not a placeholder move. That's a warning shot. And if it was supposed to go under the radar, it didn't. Something about this whole situation doesn't add up. You've got Shadur Sanders lighting up practices, making clean throws against one of the NFL's top defenses, and attracting more attention than half the starting quarterbacks in the league. And still, he's deep down the depth chart like he's just another camp body. Fans are starting to ask the question no one in the front office dares speak out loud. Is this sabotage? The NFL has a long history of playing politics when it comes to quarterbacks, especially ones who disrupt agendas. Shedeur didn't come from the usual pipeline. He's not a fifth-year SEC product. He wasn't handpicked by a GM with a legacy to protect. And worst of all for the system, he doesn't just play the game. He brings cameras with him every time he walks into a building. He's a brand, a personality, a walking spotlight. And that's where the theory kicks in. Because if Shedeur keeps climbing, someone else falls. Suddenly, the expensive vet becomes expendable. The backup they invested in turns into a bench warmer. The head coach, well, if he can't control the system, he becomes the problem. So maybe it's not that Shedeur isn't ready. Maybe it's that the league wasn't ready for Shedeur. That's why fans say there's more than coaching happening behind the scenes. Something bigger. Too many people benefit by keeping Shedeur quiet, and too many lose if he explodes onto the scene. But not everyone is playing by the stay quiet rule. Because one future Hall of Famer just broke the silence and lit the match. In a league where most players play it safe with their words, Travis Kelce didn't hold back. He didn't tiptoe. He didn't hide behind vague media talk. He said it loud and clear. I want to see Shadur Sanders play. That might sound like a casual comment on the surface, but coming from Kelce, it hit like a headline. This is a three-time Super Bowl champion, one of the most respected players in the NFL, and a proud Clevelander. He's not just speaking as a fan, he's speaking as someone who understands how the game works behind the curtain. And what he said wasn't just about talent. Kelce made it clear. Shedeur brings excitement. He brings ratings. He brings people to the game. Suddenly, a narrative that had been bubbling in fan forums and YouTube clips turned into a full-on national conversation. Sports shows picked it up. NFL analysts weighed in. Hat tip from Kelce turned the Shedeur debate from maybe to why not now. More importantly, it gave fans permission to demand what they already believed. If Travis Kelce was saying it, they weren't crazy for thinking it. And things snowballed from there. Other players started chiming in. Former quarterbacks, analysts, even die-hard Browns fans who had stayed silent started voicing support. The chant was getting louder. Put Shedeur in. Because when a star player, especially one with rings on his fingers, co-signs a rookie QB riding third string, it's no longer just hype. It's validation. And for the Browns front office, that turned a quiet controversy into a full-blown media wildfire. Let's be real, football is entertainment. And in this version of the NFL, it's no longer enough to win. You have to be watchable. That's where the storm surrounding Shadur Sanders collides head-on with Kevin Stefanski's offense. Say what you will about Stefanski. He's structured, conservative, disciplined. But exciting? Not even close. Watching a Browns game under his system feels more like studying a tax code than witnessing pro football. The play calling is predictable. The pace is slow. The energy? Flat. And the numbers prove it. TV ratings are down. Stadium seats are half empty before halftime. National broadcasters are quietly skipping over Cleveland matchups while flexing shinier teams with flashier stars. Now enter Shedeur. The second his name trends online, the views follow. Every throw from camp gets clipped. Every mic'd-up moment goes viral. His very presence wakes people up like a splash of cold water to the face. He's not just a quarterback. He's a human ratings booster. That's the problem the Browns face now. It's not just a question of who's better on paper. It's become a battle of brand versus boredom. Stefanski runs an efficient but joyless machine. Shedeur is the spark that could set the league on fire. Not maybe, not someday, right now. And when fans are yawning at halftime but opening Twitter to see Shedeur highlights trending anyway, the contrast becomes unbearable. It's no longer about stats, it's about attention. And right now, Cleveland's losing it. In today's NFL, performance matters, but profit drives decisions. And Shadur Sanders? He isn't just trending, he's printing money. The rookie hasn't taken an NFL snap, yet he's already topping charts for jersey sales. Reports say Shedeur has generated over $250 million in merchandise revenue, more than some entire quarterback rooms combined. He's already one of the league's most marketable names, and he hasn't thrown a single touchdown in a real game. Compare that to the Browns under Kevin Stefanski. Ratings are tanking. Stadium excitement is dead. Sponsorship buzz is quiet. It's becoming obvious. Stefanski's system may protect the football, but it's killing the brand. Cleveland isn't just missing plays, they're missing opportunities. With Shedeur, every snap would move jerseys, boost ticket sales, trigger highlight reels, light up social media, and draw national eyes. That's value. That's business. This is the part ownership can't ignore forever. NFL franchises don't just run on game plans, they run on revenue streams. And Shedeur isn't just a quarterback anymore, he's an asset. The longer he sits, the more it feels like Cleveland is squandering that value. Meanwhile, other markets salivate at the idea of what he could do for their brand. One start is all it would take to shift Cleveland from a forgotten mid-market team to must-watch television. Stefanski's refusal to embrace that? It's not just a football decision anymore. It's a business mistake. Right now, Cleveland Browns fans aren't just frustrated, they're furious. They're not booing bad plays anymore. They're booing the entire system. Every check down on 3rd and long, every predictable run up the middle, every post-game interview where Kevin Stefanski says things like, "We just need to execute better." This is the part ownership can't ignore forever. NFL franchises don't just run on game plans, they run on revenue streams. And Shedeur isn't just a quarterback anymore, he's an asset. The longer he sits, the more it feels like Cleveland is squandering that value. Meanwhile, other markets salivate at the idea of what he could do for their brand. One start is all it would take to shift Cleveland from a forgotten mid-market team to must-watch television. Stefanski's refusal to embrace that? It's not just a football decision anymore. It's a business mistake. Right now, Cleveland Browns fans aren't just frustrated, they're furious. They're not booing bad plays anymore, they're booing the entire system. Every check down on 3rd and long, every predictable run up the middle, every post-game interview where Kevin Stefanski says things like, "We just need to execute better." At this point, it's not even about winning games. It's about feeling something. Browns fans have stuck with this team through decades of heartbreak, false hope, and quarterback carousels. But now they're just bored. And nothing shocks a team's system like apathy. Shadur Sanders has become more than just a player. He's a symbol, a walking what-if. The guy who could ignite a fire in a team that's been playing like it's on mute. Fans aren't just craving results. They're starving for energy, creativity, chaos. And Stefanski, once seen as the safe, disciplined answer, he's looking more like the stubborn roadblock. Local talk shows are tearing him apart. Fan forums are calling for his job. National media is starting to ask that dreaded question. Has he lost the locker room? The fear now isn't just that Shedeur won't play. It's that he'll be wasted under this coaching staff, buried behind clipboards and caution tape while Cleveland chokes away another season under the illusion of structure. And fans are done being quiet about it. Because if Stefanski's idea of innovation is another 3-yard out route, the Shedeur pressure cooker is going to blow. And no coach, no matter how calm he sounds at the podium, can control that storyline once it hits full volume. The Browns can call him QB3 all they want. They can keep his name off depth charts and press releases. But there's one thing they can't do: stop the momentum. Because Shadur Sanders doesn't need 40 minutes of playing time to dominate the conversation. He is the conversation. Every clip from training camp, shared a million times. Every throw, broken down on TikTok like game film. Every sideline look, screenshot, posted, and trending. That's the Shedeur effect. He doesn't just bring talent, he brings energy. The kind that makes teammates believe, fans show up early, and cameras follow like heat-seeking missiles. It's rare, and it's dangerous, especially for a tightly controlled organization trying to stick to the plan. Cleveland wasn't ready for this. They thought they were getting a developmental QB. Instead, they got a media magnet and a marketing machine who can actually play. Even his limited live reps are starting to speak loud. Calm under pressure, pinpoint throws, and most importantly, a presence that makes fans say, this is what we've been missing. So now, Kevin Stefanski is in a terrible spot. The longer he keeps Shedeur on ice, the more fans revolt. But the second Shedeur takes the field and lights it up, everything changes. The pressure moves from when to why didn't this happen sooner? This is no longer about development or patience. It's about timing. And right now, the Shedeur effect is ticking louder and faster than anything Stefanski can call from the sideline. The Cleveland Browns are standing at a crossroads, whether they admit it or not. On one side, Kevin Stefanski, the safe choice, disciplined, calculated, controlled. A coach who sticks to the playbook, avoids the spotlight, and hasn't given fans a reason to feel anything in a long time. On the other side, Shadur Sanders. Untested in the NFL, yes, but electric, unpredictable, headline-making. A player who walks into the building and instantly grabs attention, makes cameras roll, and gives fans a reason to believe again. The Browns' identity crisis isn't about X's and O's, it's about who they want to be. Do they want to be a team that plays not to lose? One that keeps things polished, quiet, and slowly drifts into irrelevance with a check-down approach to everything, on and off the field? Or do they want to embrace the risk and possibly greatness? Because the league is watching. Fans are watching. Ratings don't lie, and neither does the pulse of a city that's been waiting for something, anything, to make them feel alive again. And ironically, the Browns already have what they need sitting on the bench. Shedeur isn't a long-term project. He's not a future maybe. He's a now. They can choose Stefanski's structure, or they can choose Shedeur's fire. But make no mistake, playing it safe in today's NFL doesn't keep you steady. It makes you invisible. And for a franchise built on pain, hope, and second chances, the worst thing they could do now is fumble their best shot at something bigger. This isn't just about game plans or QB rankings anymore. This is about philosophy, identity, a seismic shift years in the making. The Browns have been many things, hopeful, hopeless, heartbroken. But now they face a new kind of challenge, the one that doesn't show up on stat sheets. Are they ready to get out of their own way? Because Shadur Sanders isn't going away. He's not fading into the background. He's getting louder without saying a word. Every throw in practice, every sideline shot, every quote from star players like Travis Kelce adds fuel to the fire. The fans feel it. The media feels it. The pressure is suffocating. And at the center of it all is a choice. Stick with the safe, predictable path under Kevin Stefanski. The same path draining life from one of the most loyal fan bases in all of sports. Or embrace what's clearly coming. The chaos, the headlines, the backlash, yes, but also the spotlight, the excitement, the hope. Make no mistake, if Shadur Sanders ever walks onto that field in a Browns uniform, it won't just be a quarterback change. It'll be a culture shift, a moment, a line in history, the time the Browns stopped surviving and finally bet on something special. But until then, one question echoes loudest across Cleveland. Are we going to watch another season fade into silence? Or are we finally going to give the people what they want?